Wish the sound was up when the prayer warrior ignited our spirit, but we're gonna allow that to go on. But I want to say good morning to Veronica Arsenault. She's my guest for this morning, and hopefully that we could bring you guys enough good information that y'all could understand what's going on with this fentanyl, you know, because they got a lot of people dying, and this is why Ms. Veronica is here, you know, to talk about her tragedy that she had from fentanyl. And fentanyl ain't nothing to play with. You know, if you want to get high, go to the doctor and tell him you're having a problem and you need to alter your mind. But do not take drugs from a friend, because if you do that, they're going to use that as a guinea pig, you know, because that's what it's all about. I've seen it too many times that people hand drugs to somebody else, and before you know it, they falling out. They doing all kind of crazy things that don't even fit their character. So in that word, I want to say good morning to Ms. Veronica Arsenault.
Good morning, Wallace. Thank you for having me this morning.
Thank you for being here. You know, we don't normally have these little difficulties, but hey, when
you're dealing with technology, those things happen. No, that's totally understandable.
So, you know, we went to what it was, a seminar.
Right. We went to a fentanyl awareness community event that happened on Wednesday night.
Wednesday night.
Very well attended. I mean, I know they had over 250 chairs set out, and most of them were full.
Was full.
Yeah,
yes.
They were full.
I was very surprised to see that, you know, because drugs ain't nothing to play with, you know, especially nowadays, you know, because you hear the news, people talking about the borders, the drugs are coming in through the borders, but drugs are coming in through the mail, you know, off the internet.
Yes, sir.
You know, and it's not just the borders that they're bringing it in, but some of it might be coming through there, but you could go on the internet and just about get anything you want.
Right.
You know, and that's the hard part about everything, you know. So you had a picture of your brother, you know, that passed away. Sorry for your loss.
Thank
You
you.
know, and we have to try to get hold to the people's ears, to the people's mind, and the people's heart, you know. So with that, I'll let you go on and have it your way.
Thank you. And yeah, the community event, hopefully we can do another one because it was just so successful. We had professionals there, the doctors there, addictive recovery there. We had the first responders there, Acadian Ambulance, showing how to use the Norcan, which is the medicine that brings somebody back, or if somebody's in distress with this. So, I mean, it was a wonderful program, and we hope that, you know, in the future we have another one. But as far as for my experience with it, I'm no professional. Like I said, they had the professionals there. I am speaking from the side of family loss. When, you know, my brother, Mitch, his name is Mitch, and on January 20th, 2022, I received a call stating that the coroner's van was in my brother's driveway. And, you know, Wallace, no matter how you look at that, how you flip it, how you know, try to put, whipped cream on it, there's nothing good that could come out of a coroner's van being in somebody's driveway, right? So, but he had died of a fentanyl overdose. My brother had two neck surgeries. He had one neck surgery, it didn't work out, so they went back in, they had another one, and he got hooked on opioids. And when he died, he was at his home, and he had some friends that came in, and you just don't know what you're getting with. It's a synthetic drug. You know?
Right.
Now, fentanyl, when it's used in a hospital, it's great. It's used properly and it's used for medical needs. It's perfect. But when it's used for illicit needs, no, it is very, very deadly. Your listeners should know that it takes less than 3 grains of salt to kill an adult person. And my brother was 6'2", 250 pounds. 3 grains of salt. You know, and the thing about it is that my brother in October, he came to a recognition event, right? And a month later, November, he was at the Thanksgiving. We had gotten together as a family post-COVID, very excited. He was there networking with everyone. And in December, he was at a Santa event with his grandkids. And in January, he was on the front cover of an obituary.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's just how quickly things happen. And, you know, we know overdose. I mean, we know addiction, right? We know addiction as when we grew up. I mean, it's long-term, years and years. You see people struggle for years and years. And when you hear of overdoses, you hear of people taking multiple pills or the liquid, an injection that's an overage or some type of concoction that they injected that caused them to overdose, you know. But this is not the same thing.
Well, you know, I'm like this here, you know, drugs is drugs. I remember when crack cocaine was an epidemic here in the United States and places. Good morning, man. And it seemed like nobody really cared anything about the crack, but and it destroyed a lot of life. You know, you wasn't overdosing, like talking about it, you know, but it was there. And now, you know, this fentanyl come out, and it seemed like everybody want to jump on board with that. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing, but I wish when crack cocaine hit the United States, you know, we would have made people more aware of it than the way we are doing now. And I think, you know, that we could stop this. We could stop it, you know, but the thing of it is, you got the internet, you got your phones, you know, parents need, a lot of parents be working when the mail come in. The mailman, they don't knock on your door anymore and make you say, they just drop the package off. Right. So a kid come home, he ordered this online, he come home, he got all of this right before him, you know, but this is what we have to do. We have to learn how to check our kids, you know. Don't be scared to check your kid, because if your kid get hold of that, it's too late almost, because you might not be around when he take it, you know, or when they take it. They'll bring it to school, you know, pass it out to different people at school. And that's why I say, you know, if your friend's going to give you drugs, don't take them, because they're using you as a guinea pig, you know. So those are the kind of things that worries me. Right. You know, I hope I never be around nobody that use some drugs and go out, you know. These things that we have to make sure that we are aware of. Be aware of where your kids are. Be aware of what your kids doing, who your kids hanging out with. You know, it's nothing wrong with that, you know, to check on your kids. You know, I used to tell little grandson, I say, hey, man, go to school, get your education. You know, if they call you a nerd, be an educated nerd.
Right,
you know,
the best nerd.
Yeah. Be an educated nerd, you know. And I was glad that he took his ears and listen to a lot of that. You know, he's 20-something years old now. You know, never got in no trouble or nothing like this here. And that was a great thing. You know, I
That's
figured,
a blessing.
Yeah. I figure I kept my eyes on him. You know, watch who he was hanging with, and things went good. You know, but a lot of parents don't want to do that.
Right.
I heard a parent tell me one time. He said, "When my kids go to school, this is my house. I pays the bill. I bought all this stuff in here, and they not gonna tell me they got privacy, because they don't have nothing here but themselves." And I go through all this stuff, and his kid never really got in no trouble, you know, nothing like this here, carrying guns and all of that. You know, why a parent can allow their kids to have a gun, you know? And maybe a lot of times the parents don't know, you know? I'm sitting in the car one day. I'm telling you a little story.
Okay.
I'm sitting in the car one day, waiting on somebody to come out. And this little kid came out his house, pants way up, you know? When he got about 3 or 4 doors down, he started pulling them down. I hit the horn. I said, "Pull those pants back."
And that's where the village comes in. You
yeah.
see, it used to be a village,
Yeah.
you know, that would raise the kids. The neighborhood, you knew everyone sitting on the porch, and they were watching the kids, and
Yeah.
they would call your parents, or,
Yeah.
no, that's how it used to be, you
Yeah,
know.
but-
And it's just that, you know, all of these drugs, like you say, is just so easy to come by.
Right.
And it comes in many different forms. And like you say, with social media today, that's the enemy. I mean, it's a great, and let me say, it's a great resource, but for drugs and for guns or anything like that, it's horrible. It's horrible, and it's hard. Like you say, it's very, very hard to police, especially for parents. But like you say, parents, they have to be involved. And like they said too, the coroner said that what they have the most difficult time, because they have to investigate these things to see once somebody dies, they have to investigate it. The most difficulty they have is getting into the kid's phone. They have passcodes, and the parents, no one knows how to open up the phone, because they need to see how they got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, my phone, I've been having a phone ever since they almost came out. After they start coming out with the little flip phone and stuff like this here, I have never locked my phone. You know why? Because if anything happened to me, anybody need to get in my phone, it's not locked. Just open it up.
Right.
You know, I used to tell my wife that before she passed away. Baby, anytime my phone is sitting there, whatever you want to know about it, just go in it.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I'm not going to lock you out of my phone, because you never know what may happen. You look at the news a lot of time, something happened to somebody, the phone is there, but they can't get in. They got to go and find somebody that know how to go around the passcode to get in.
Right.
So this is something that's dear to me. Don't lock my phone.
Well, and I think that's a good thing too, because it's not just for illicit means or anything, but like you say, not locking your phone. If something happened and let's say your phone dies or whatnot, or they need to look at your phone, they may need to just look at your text and say, "Oh, he just texted this one and said he gonna meet him at City Hall."
Oh, yeah.
So they know where you're at. So or they know where you went or whatnot. So it's just that phone too is for like MapQuest. It tags you wherever you're at.
Yeah.
So I mean, it could tell anybody where you're at, where you went, and what you did.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I turned my location off.
Okay, you do that.
Yeah.
So they can't track you. Huh?
Yeah. You know, and when I first got the phone, you know, my phone was asking me how did I like shopping at Super One. I said,
Really?
what?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know?
That's too much.
Yeah. So I was by somebody that was tech savvy. I said, man, look at this. He said, all you got to do is turn your location off. So he showed me where it was. I turned it off, and the only time I use my location now, if I'm going somewhere.
For directions.
Yeah, for direction, because they're going to ask you to turn it on.
Right.
You know, and once I get where I'm going, well, it comes off.
Right.
You know, when I was driving truck, I used to use my GPS system to navigate me through the cities. And I remember one time my son told me, "Dad, you ain't no truck driver." I said, "What you mean, boy?"
Oh, good.
He said, "You're supposed to use that atlas." I said, "Well, you keep using your atlas, and I'm gonna use my GPS." Well, about a year later, his wife bought him one. And he said, "Dad, you should have made me buy that when you had one." He said, "Man," he said, "the time you saved, the fuel that you saved." I said, "I try to tell y'all,
Right.
but y'all don't want to listen, you know." And some people would say, "Oh, man, let's go to MapQuest." You know,
Right.
MapQuest puts you in a direction that you could get there, but you still have to read that paper. With that GPS system, it tells you when
What to
you
turn, turn by turn.
yeah, you know, and I liked it that, you know.
Right.
So
right.
everything is good there, but
But as far as the program, I mean, like I said, they had a lot of good information. And again, when I was talking about overdoses or whatnot, the problem with fentanyl is that it takes so little to kill you.
Yeah.
And like I said, what my brother took, like I have never even smoked a cigarette, right? But if I took it, I would die too. So don't think of it as a person addicted to it. I mean, they have kids who are maybe studying, and I read this story. You can Google it. There's this parent, this mother who's going around to bring awareness to the deadly effects of fentanyl. Her daughter was 18, studying for exam, very studious, and she had taken a break, and somebody offered her a Xanax or something, and it killed her.
yeah, well,
It killed her.
That's why I was saying, don't take drugs from a friend.
Russian roulette.
Yeah,
You're playing Russian roulette.
Yeah, you know, and they're using you for a guinea pig because they might not take it, but they'll give it to somebody else to
see if it's a bad batch.
Yeah.
Right,
You know, or test this, you know. So all of these things, we have to learn how to make ourselves settle.
And we had like a parent, speaking of kids, we had a parent who had spoke the other day, and her son, who was struggling with addiction, but he had been clean for a couple of months or whatnot, and he had gotten a pill from somebody, put it there for a while, didn't take anything, you know, but it was there, right? And then, well, what he decided to do was go to class, break it in half. He broke it in half, took the half, and then everything was good. He commented to his roommate, "Oh, I guess that one didn't have fentanyl," you know. So about 2 days later, he went on about his business. 2 days later, took the second half, killed him.
Yeah, because the first half was still in his system, you know.
Well, and the second half is the half that had the fentanyl. It takes so little that it had the fentanyl in it. Right, and they killed him, you know. So, and that's the thing about fentanyl. It doesn't matter, you know, if you're long-term addicted or if you're or somebody just slipping a Mickey in your drink. You're at a bar and you're just having a drink and they drop something in your drink, it could kill you.
Yeah, well, that's why I say if you ever get up from your table when you're in a club, do not come back and drink that drink.
Right, exactly.
You know, even though some people cover it up, if you don't have nobody at that table with you to watch you drink, don't come back and drink it. You know, another thing that they had too is that synthetic marijuana, you know, and I used to take a guy home in the evening, and as soon as he would get in his house, him and his girlfriend would go to smoke that. Man, they make me broke out that house. They would get the organ and
Yeah, that stuff
fussing.
makes you crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you see people on the street, you know, how they be acting, you know, talking to themselves, spacing out. I say, how do people take that stuff and it's going to make you act like that?
Right,
You know?
right. Well, I mean, like they said the other day, they're putting this stuff in elephant tranquilizers.
Mm-hmm.
Elephant. They are soaking it in patches and putting a patch on. I mean, they injecting it, so it's gummy bears. Gummy bears.
Yeah.
They're putting it in that, and they're taking it like that. Skittles. They're taking it like that. So that's how the kids are taking it. Again, they had, like, I think 4 parents there who had lost recently, in the last year, lost their child to fentanyl to take it. And these were kids like 18 to 23. And all the 4 parents were there talking about, you know, trying to bring awareness to it because it's just so fast, so rapid, and it's deadly. It's just that.
And another thing that they had out, embalming fluid. You know,
Exactly.
They were smoking
Remember
and-
that?
Yeah, they were smoking embalming fluid and things like this here. And I used to see guys, I was living in California at the time. I used to see guys take off their clothes and start running down the street because they was hot, you know.
And that's how that synthetic, anything synthetic, that's what it impacts you like that.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah, you know, and to me, I never wanted to indulge in that because I seen what it made other people do, you know. I used to watch guys shoot drugs, and other guys would stand on the corner and make bets how far he's gonna bend down without falling, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, because this was heroin users, you know. And I used to see that, and I say, man, how somebody could keep doing that or even try to do it.
Right.
I'm scared the doctor, when the doctor stick the needle in my arm to take blood, you know, less long as stick an old dirty needle in my body. You know, no way,
Yeah,
no way I'm gonna
exactly.
do that, you know.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, but.
Veronica, they got a black page that's coming out.
Yes, sir.
You got that on your phone.
Yes, sir.
You wanna?
Yes. Delta Sigma Theta and Lafayette Consolidated Government together will be releasing the Black Pages, the newest edition of the Black Pages. The Black Pages is a directory of Black-owned businesses, and we will have a release and a reception on Wednesday, March 29th at 6 o'clock at City Hall, 705 West University. And so we invite you all, if you come, you get your free booklet directory, and you get to support these Black businesses. We need to pick it up. We got several businesses in there, so it's not about just supporting your business because you're in there. You want to pick up the book so you can support all these Black businesses. And so the reception is free. So come on out, City Hall, Wednesday at 6 o'clock.
Now y'all know Miss Veronica is the clerk at LCG, you know, and she been there
30 years.
30 years. Okay, I was getting ready to say 25 because that's about when I started going to meeting. And she do a wonderful job.
Oh, thank you.
If y'all ever need her for anything, you know, you could call City Hall and ask for her, you know. She's Veronica Arsenault now, you know, very awesome name, you know. So don't be afraid to reach out to her, you know, for your needs. And your needs are potholes, lights out, things.
Drainage concerns, junked vehicles, houses that are in disrepair, drugs, crime, prostitution, all of that.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. She's a very wonderful person when it comes down to what's going down at that LCG. headquarters. You know.
Oh, yeah. Just reach out to me,
yeah.
and my office could process. I work for the council members, so through your council members too, we can process any requests you have, and we track those requests. We send it to the department so we can follow up
Yeah.
and get a response.
She's almost better than some of those attorneys they have down there. She
Oh.
could answer all the questions.
Well, I don't have their money though.
No, yeah. But she could answer all your needs and take care of a lot of your needs. And I've been going to council meeting. I haven't been going lately, but all the council meeting I used to go to, she was always there to get my
The speaker card.
my speaker card.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
and she do a very wonderful job. I can't express it enough. You know, she's a newlywed too. You know,
Yes.
so things been going real good. You know,
It
as far
has.
as I'm concerned. You know, and this is the way you got to take a lot of this stuff and make it happen. You know, my mom used to tell me all the time, a closed mouth never get fed.
Right.
You know, and she used to tell me out of all 9 of her kids, I'm the only one that don't keep my mouth closed. But
you're using it for good,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
You are using it
yeah,
for good.
And I told her, I said, Mom, I said, I never sassy you. You know, I was almost 60 years old, 50-something, before my mother heard me say a curse word.
Really? Oh, that's.
And when she looked at me, I said, Mama, stay out of this one.
If it took you that long, it had to be a big issue.
Yeah. I say, stay out of this one, you know. But I never disrespected my mother for no reason.
And I think in our generation, though, we didn't. We came up, you couldn't. You
better not.
You better not.
Mhm.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
then, like I say, this is a totally different generation. Everything is electronic, technical or whatnot. But look, I just wanted to tell you, the listeners too, just so they can have an appreciation. And I get these statistics from the deaths from the coroner's office, right?
Okay.
So in 2015, there were 32 overdoses.
Wow.
32. In 2015, 0 contained fentanyl in 2015. In 2019, they had 55, so it had increased the overdoses. And just that fast, 25 so that's 50% of the overdoses contained fentanyl. Last year, in 2022, they had 148 overdoses. And of that amount, 114 contained fentanyl.
No.
So we're talking overdoses like heroin, cocaine. So 77% of those overdoses contained fentanyl.
No.
77% last year of 148.
Wow.
So that's just how serious the problem is. Again, you know, what I want your listeners to know about this program today, one pill kills.
Really?
One pill kills.
And
Yes.
you don't have to take 2 or 3 of them.
No.
You know, I don't understand, and maybe you could help me with this. How and who can we really see to stop the drug trafficking?
I'm not sure. And I think that's what they're trying to look at. This drug, I know this drug was originally manufactured in China, but they've outlawed it, but they still have the ingredients and selling the ingredients, and they are sending that to Mexico, and Mexico is, of course, producing the pills, and then they're manufacturing it. They have the chem labs and all of that stuff, and they're bringing it into the ports of Louisiana, into the ports of Louisiana. So it's coming in. So, I mean, they have the border agents, and they have those tactics that they're working through to try to address these issues. I mean, it's a big undertaking. It's a very big undertaking. They're also looking at legislation because the issue is like say for my brother, right? They had 2 people who brought it to him, and those were friends of his.
Okay.
Those were friends of his, and But the thing is that what happens to the friends who brought him in, right? Who brought the drugs in? But of course, he knew about it. So what they don't do, and it makes sense. It really makes sense, because at first, as a family, Wallace, we were upset. Like, why don't y'all arrest these people who brought it to him? You know. But he was complacent. I mean, he was, you know, he wanted the drugs or whatnot. And so, and not only that, what they have the Good Samaritan law now, and it makes sense, because if something happened and you have a family member and there are 3 of you guys standing there and they take a drug and you guys knew that the person is struggling, right? They're not going to arrest you guys because they want y'all to call the police. Right? So they're not going to do anything. If they start arresting these people, they're going to leave the person there to die instead of seek help for them, you know?
Right.
So it made sense to, at that point, so it's happening so quickly, as you can see from the numbers, it's happening so quickly that they're trying to address it on the spot, you know?
Hey, if y'all have any questions y'all want to ask Ms. Veronica Arsenault, the number's up there on the screen. Area code 337-347-7236. And the phone lines are open. And if y'all feel that y'all have a question, even for me, you know, call and state your case.
Right. And I just want to say, too, that this fentanyl, you talked about crack earlier and, you know, not having the awareness like we had the other day. And you're right. You know, we did not. And I know, too, in crack, what that was in the 70s, late 70s through the 80s, you know, we didn't have the social media. We didn't have the cell phones. So, you know, unfortunately, too, I mean, that kind of hindered, but I just think, too, that the efforts were not made to get the information out like we are here. But for this event, too, they were able to, I mean, and the program was streamed live. It was on AOC as well, so it will be replayed, and you can call AOC to see when it would be replayed. And they can send you also the link to the YouTube link of the actual event. Very powerful. And even at that event, too, they showed everybody how to use Narcan. Narcan is used when somebody's in distress or somebody's breathing. You feel they've stopped breathing, or they're you know, they've passed out or whatnot, and you know that they're using drugs or whatnot. I mean, you can use the Narcan. And it, you know, it's proved helpful in bringing these people out of it.
Even though you give them the Narcan, you know, still call.
Exactly.
911. You know, make sure that they get the help that they need other than your help. Right. You know, so all these little different things, it comes into play. Know your surrounding, know where you are, and know what you're doing.
Right.
You know?
And you know, fentanyl is, you know, we know about the crack and how it impacted a lot of, you know, the Black community. Narcan does not impact any particular class, age group, or race. You know, across the United States, the impact on deaths is 50-50. 50-50. It doesn't matter how rich you are, how poor you are. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, you know, we talk about the crack. You know, when the crack came out, it was basically targeted for the Black community, and nobody really tried to go at it.
Go into the community
and make it happen. You know, make you aware of it. You know, I know a lot of people lost their cars, houses, lost their lives behind this stuff. And when it started getting into the Caucasian community, that's when people start doing something about it. You see, like this fentanyl is not just in the Black community. It's all over. So now, you know, people are trying to make other people aware of it and try to make kids aware of it. But when it was, like I said, I hate to do black and white, but that's the way it was at the
Right,
time. You know?
right.
So you have to take the program and bring it to a high level. I see legislation now is trying to fix it where if you sold somebody some drugs and they OD on it or die, you're going to be held accountable
Right,
for it.
and you should.
You know,
Right.
yeah. So, you know, it's a situation that I see that we better wake up and understand what's going on, you know, because if not, you know, we losing too many people to COVID, fentanyl, other kind of drugs, you know, and I'm scared to take a pill.
Right.
You know?
Right. And it's like you said too. Don't take a pill from somebody you don't know, because you're playing Russian roulette.
Yeah.
You are playing Russian roulette.
Yeah.
And when you talked earlier about the kids and parents being involved, don't wait till they get to college
No.
or high school, and then you want to talk to them. It's too late. You know, talk to them when they're in middle school. Now, the conversation may start off differently because they're a little younger, so you may have to use different terminologies. But when you start that conversation, you're making them aware.
And that's what's good about it. Making your kids aware of what's going on. Some people, you know, have 3 jobs. Well, when they kids leaving to go to school, you coming in. When they get out of school,
You're going out.
you going out. And then the 3rd job, they just there by themselves. And then you get a day off and you want to control your kids.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna happen.
That's not going to happen.
No.
They're raising themselves.
Themselves, yeah. You know, and this is what I kind of told a parent one time, wanted me to mentor her son. I said, I could mentor him every day, you know, but he's going to only listen to me because I'm around him. And then she's going to tell me, well, I work 3 jobs. I said, that's your problem.
Right.
You know, that's your problem. You're trying to satisfy their need, and you're not satisfying their need because you're not around to show them love.
Right.
You know, you got to show love to your kids. I don't care who it is, you know. And don't tell me they know I love them. Yeah, they may know you love them because you're buying them this, you're buying them that, you're spoiling them. You're not giving them the opportunity to do the things that they have to do, you know. And she said, thank you, Mr. Wallace.
Yeah.
She quit 1 job. You know, when she quit 1 job, she had a little more time. She seen her quitting that 1st job, the impact that she had, so she quit the 2nd job. Now she only worked 1 job, and her and her kids is getting along.
Oh, great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You know, because you're there.
Right.
You know? If you're not there for them, hey, kids will run, how do you say that? Run loose and run wild.
Well, and they're going to go to their peers, which is that's not good.
No.
Right. They're going to go to their peers, and the peers are doing the same thing that they're doing, you know.
Yeah.
And again, everything is so social media. They have access to everything. Everything.
Yeah. You know, I know a kid was using the computer to go on porn sites. And I busted him, you know. You need some help with this? No. I said, well, don't go on my computer no more and do that. Well, I had to put a password on that. Some kid told him how to go around my password and put his password on, you know, so he could go into the site whenever he
Even
got
though
it.
you tried to block it.
Yeah.
Right.
I said, well, I'll be doggone. Kids are smarter than anything. Little grandbaby, 3 or 4 years old, used to show me how to use my phone. You know.
Oh no, they can. Yeah, they can. They know how to find these stuff. They know. I mean, they don't talk well, but they'll know how to work that phone and find the games that they want to find.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. And one of the grandsons, he had 5 games on my phone. I said, man, what you doing killing my battery? Well, don't kill your battery. You know, I said, yes, it do. You know,
yes, it does.
Especially if you're playing the game. So all these different little things, you know, you got to pay attention to your kids nowadays, you know, because if you don't, you know, they'll go blind.
Right.
Watching these phones all the time.
Oh,
You know?
yes.
Yeah.
If not on the phones, on the computers, on the gaming system, it's all technical, it's all electronic with the kids. Yeah.
You know, I've never been to Twitter, barely go to Google, unless I want to know some information.
Right.
TikTok.
Yeah, that's the new one.
Yeah. No.
Right.
Somebody called me the other day from a number I recognized, so I answered the phone. And when I answered the phone, man, what you doing calling my sister fat? You know, what? Man, who are you? You know, I don't talk about no women like that, bro. I got fat people in my family. Why am I call somebody else family member fat? Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You got her crying? I said, nope, not doing that no more. So I called the guy that I recognized the number on. He said, man, I don't know nothing about that. He said, next time they call you, tell them you're talking to them right now. You know? So, but those kind of things, you know, you got to watch for. Drugs come through the phone, drugs come through the computer, and the mailman go everywhere.
Right.
Rain or shine, sleet or snow.
Oh,
the
he gonna make that
mailman is
delivery.
going. Yeah.
He gonna make that
You know,
delivery.
and like I said, at one time they used to knock on your door, make you sign. You don't have to sign for that no more.
Oh, no.
You know, UPS, FedEx, they all doing the same thing, you know. So what it was, somewhere they arrest somebody for trying the feds that intercept a package full of drugs. And it was headed to Louisiana, I think. But like I said, we have to make sure that we are aware of what's going on.
Right. Right. And you know, what the Louisiana Department of Health and Hospitals is doing now, we are talking about the kids and how it's really fastly growing in that population, an age group. They are going into the schools right now to do these presentations, to make them aware. And it's like they said, I mean, the kids are not shy. They ask in high school, do you vape or whatnot? Because they could put it in that, in the vaping holes or whatnot. And several of them raise their hands like they're not shy. They're already vaping. So that's why I'm saying you got to get to them before high school, because you don't even want them to vape, because they even talked about the popcorn lungs and how vaping impacts you know, the lungs or whatnot. So you have to have those talks with the kids, and the parents have to be involved. I mean, that's a big thing.
Well, you know, I smoke. I'm not going to tell nobody I don't smoke.
Right.
But that vaping, I tried it.
Different.
Yeah, I tried it, and I didn't like it. And the person that gave it to me, it was a $high vaping machine. You know, I didn't like it. Then I see some of those guys vaping, and you can sweat it on fire because it got so much smoke coming out of their lungs.
Yeah, I mean, like, how do they push so much smoke out?
Yeah,
right.
You know, and I can't see it. Then I know one person that was vaping, eyes can't quit jumping. And before she started it, it wasn't jumping.
Really?
You know?
No, that vaping thing, and I've heard some stories, and there's the question of which one, or how bad vaping is. It just impacts you differently.
Yeah.
But they're trying to talk to kids, and they did talk about it during the presentation.
Yeah.
They didn't even talk about cigarette smoking anymore because that's the minimal thing.
Yeah.
They talked about like fentanyl. They talked about vaping. So again, I encourage your listeners to call AOC to see when they're going to replay that, or to ask for the link for the to go to the YouTube link about it or whatnot. If anybody need information regarding this, they can call 211. Any resources, any questions you have, call 211, and they can get you some information on it.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Or how you can get Narcan.
Yeah.
They were giving it away the other day, so that's why I say we need another presentation, because I think that every parent for sure should have a Narcan kit in their home.
Yeah.
In their home.
Like what you call those heart attack kits that they made you put in school.
Or the defibrillators or whatever.
Yeah. It's just like a fibrillator,
You have it when you need it.
Yeah.
And when it's a lifesaver when you need it, though.
Yeah,
If you don't have it, then you don't have anything.
Look, the guy that went to a heart attack playing football, if they hadn't had a fibrillator.
That's right. That's right. And he's going to play again.
Yeah. So, all these things we got to inform ourselves with, because if we don't inform ourselves, nobody else going to do it.
Right.
And it seems like now people is trying to do it. I appreciate you even coming on my show, but you gave a wonderful presentation on Wednesday, So when I seen you do that, then I'm looking at you on TV making people aware of fentanyl and stuff like this here. I said, well, I got a different kind of listeners. Let me see if she's gonna come on my show. And you sure did. You didn't even hesitate,
Right.
And that's what makes it good, passing out information. That's why I call this show Concern Matters.
Right.
Yeah. So the community matters to me, and it don't have to be just black folks. You live in a community somewhere. If you're living in a gated community, you're living in a community. So that's why community matter. Always try to bring the right information.
Message and information.
Last week I had some moonshiners.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, at one.
They have them in Lafayette?
They come to Lafayette.
They come to Lafayette.
Yeah,
Okay.
But I was looking at the Discovery Channel one evening, and just playing with the channel changer, and pop up my friend. I say, now let me watch this, and the Discovery Channel. A lot of that moonshine was made back in Tennessee, and black folks wasn't really allowed to be on those kind of shows and stuff like this here. And when I seen him on and seeing how the people treated him on the show and everything, I said, I got to make other people aware that right there in New Iberia, we got some moonshiners.
Right.
So,
that's interesting, though.
Yeah.
That was good.
And it still shows reruns, things like this here. And the guy is very smart. He's very intelligent. And I never knew he was going to be into moonshine, because he used to fix gates, electric gates and all that stuff. And garage door openers, all kind of things, And when I seen him on the moonshiners, that was a good part, We're getting ready to sign off. Well, Veronica, I appreciate you coming and spending some time with me on the show, speaking up the different things that people need to know. And I appreciate that,
Well, thank you for having me. And community does matter, so I
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had many kittens.